Yes, and when I have things like this, they make me feel that you're meant for something, and until you do it, they wouldn't let you die. It's almost you're protected for some special reason. I don't know what that reason is, but it's quite a powerful experience.
Okay, yes. So you've had very, very powerful experiences like this all through your life. Maybe some are more powerful and more dramatic.
Yes.
They sound like that. But the question is, this brings me to the next question, which is, and I know the answer to this question will be a little complicated for most people to understand, but I want you to go into this. What really inspires you to paint all of these things that I see in your studio? I'm not just talking about colors. I'm also talking about the shapes, the backgrounds, the movement, the fluidity. What inspires you to make them? Because they don't seem like, it's not like, oh, there's a tree and Yuliya tried to make an artistic version of that tree. This doesn't look like things that we normally see. So where do you see these things, or how does this work?
Yes, I see them in diabetic hallucinations. Well, some of them can be interesting. No, but there is a source of inspiration that is present in my life since I remember myself, since being born. And even when I couldn't walk, and I was a child, maybe 9 months, maybe less, and I was on a cot, I was able at night to take out of my body, lift off, and travel somewhere else. And that somewhere else wasn't a dream. I also know what the dream is, and I see dreams sometimes, inspired by whatever psychological things. And yes, but I go in my dream state, what I would describe to myself now as a different dimension, different reality, maybe a parallel reality. What is considered maybe a 5, 6, 7 hours of your sleep here, for me can be a few years in another dimension. And it feels like this, and I can control what I do there, and I can go to places where air doesn't exist, where gravity doesn't exist, where you move differently, where there are no people, for example. There are places where there is no water, or time is not the time we know here, or time manifests differently. Yes. So that's why in my life I was looking for answers where it is that I'm going in my dreams, and astrophysics, physics, and anything that relates quantum physics that can explain, or at least attempt to explain, different reality, even in theory, is of interest to me, because I couldn't find a human being who would say, "Oh, I've been to that place."
Yeah, or at least I get what you're saying.
Yes. And that was also one of the things to alienate since childhood within the society, because you cannot really share your travels. No one would understand it. They wouldn't, you know.
Or they would just treat you as some sort of weird person who does.
Exactly.
And have you gone through that isolation?
Yes, I've been in that state. I guess in most of my childhood, I would feel completely alienated. Even to myself, you would just ask, "You're some kind of alien. Who are you?" Because you're not, you cannot connect with your peers. Even though I had childhood friends, and I have friends from childhood who are still my friends, but at that point in life, you couldn't really connect with them.
Yeah, on this level,
no. So lots of things that I've experienced, I could express them in my art, or at least attempt. I could never do an exact replica. Yes, maybe now with 3D virtual reality things and technology, high technology, you can put together some surreal things, and they do it in sci-fi movies. But it just in my own way, I could express these beautiful things that I've seen. Also, sometimes scary things. You visit different places that are quite dark, and I try in painting either catch something from that place visually, or there's some kind of energy that is put. I don't do it sort of thinking, but I know that it's as you wake up and as you go and draw and paint, that something is channeled through you of that space. So, you know, it's sort of when you have an experience, whether you like it or not, it affects you. It affects you whether you can register the effects or not, but it does. Yes. So, I mean, you can witness it or be aware, but it doesn't matter, they're still there. So these journeys, I have them almost every day. Some of them, I used to write them down. I used to write a lot in the diary, but I couldn't cope with keeping it and someone reading it later. Lots of sort of issues, and when I was a teenager, I just burned them and tore them down.
Because you were scared that someone would find them and think you're completely crazy or something like that.
And people already thought I'm a bit crazy anyway, so you didn't want to give them the proof.
But today, after the start of so much research on quantum physics and quantum realms, I think today people, unless they're completely shut off to science and the way science is moving, they would not consider you crazy anymore, because what you're saying kind of, even if me or anyone else cannot understand it, we cannot deny that what quantum realms are about and what you're saying sounds like the exact same thing. So we may want to call you crazy, but we can't, because we already have some sort of proofs. If not proofs, we've had many people, scientists who worked on this and kind of correlated these things. So yeah, of course, I wish you didn't have to burn those amazing priceless things, but I think you travel very often.
And yes, I write them down. We write
Yeah.
them down with my partner, my dreams, and making it into a book. Yes.
Right. So the can you control, like you said, you can control where you go and how you do. So to what extent can you, like, do you not fear that you would get lost in some one dark place where you go to and can't come out?
No. But interestingly, I've met throughout my life different people who were interested in the subject of out-of-body journeys and traveling, and they said, "Can you teach us?" And I couldn't teach anyone, because it's sort of a skill that naturally happened to me since being born. And they used to ask me the same question, that what about if you go somewhere and you don't know? how
You
to
just-
get out, or
yeah.
you meet something that is just affects you, and then it will affect you in
Here as well.
I don't know. I never have this. I just never thought of being in situations that would require me to think what to do with it. I was never in a space that I couldn't escape, and was never in a situation which would want me to think what to do.
Right.
Although I've been shot or harmed in different places, being in a different form other than my body.
Right. And do you
I
think
was-
that had something to do with, say, your health issues here in this reality?
It's interesting. I don't know, maybe. But then, if I believe that everything happens at the same time,
In that moment.
so it happens here, it happens there.
Right.
So it's simultaneous.
Right.
Let's say.
Right.
You don't know. It's just because we feel time. We feel like you have control and something either is past, present, and future. But in reality, maybe if you don't. If you come out, there is no such a thing as time. So everything is at the same time, and you cannot quite connect that this was there before that, or this is after that. And so cause and effect exist here.
Right.
Maybe when you're there, I don't feel like it's so straightforward.
Straightforward. It's not 1 plus 1, 2. Yeah.
Because the places there also function differently.
Yeah. The laws are probably different.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. They do seem to be completely different. Some of them have people as the lowest race.
As in, you
And
mean
you-
the human race as the lowest
As
race?
on that planet, yes.
Alright.
Like literally, we're discriminated against
Oh.
by other creatures
Which
because
are
we're-
more powerful.
Yes,
though.
yes.
Oh, right. Okay. You know, in this video, we've like been fearless enough to say all the crazy things. So I thought, let's ask all the questions without thinking of anything. The other question I want to ask is, I remember you discussing this with me on a casual chat, maybe here, about how when you were healing your spine, or something about, trying to remember. Yeah, you mentioned about accessing medicine or medicinal things from other realities that can change this reality. Do you
It
remember?
must have
saying-
something I lied about.
Yeah.
I obviously don't remember that.
Yeah.
No, you know, there were a few things that I've visited that looked like temples of some sort. And in these temples, whoever came, and it wasn't humans who would go there. In these temples, when you come inside the temple, knows what your issue is.
Oh,
what
so
that
who is in the temple
whatever,
knows your issue. Okay.
the sort of the walls of the energy that is contained
Okay.
in this place would know exactly what your biological
Problems.
and whatever state you are in.
Right.
But the thing, and you can get some sort of, I guess, maybe healing or help.
Right.
The trick wasn't one is that you have to be actually, to me it looked like maybe a talking to a wall of some sort, and then
Because
out
there was
of
no
this
creature or
wall,
person
nothing,
there,
no.
okay.
You're talking to a wall, and then the wall responds to you by, it's sort of out of the blue, the storm file comes out. It's very sci-fi, you know. And but the trick was that you have to. It knows what your issue is, but you have to say it. Because you might say something else, or you might ask, but so you have
But it
to
needs to know that you're truthful.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
It somehow checks against the bullshit. I don't know. It's kind of, it's an interesting, in the moment that you know your seed issue, it's healed, but you have to say
it.
Yes, it was an interesting, and I don't know if it was the same for other creatures who were there. Maybe
Okay.
for them, because
They
I'm
didn't have
human, it was like this.
Right.
But because they seem to be doing different things
In the same
and
temple
in the
kind
same
of place.
temple, yes. and it basically, that was what I got, and it's non-verbal communication.
Right.
So it's kind of, it thinks, you think, and it answers.
Answers.
You.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So where were we?
So since I'm a musician, I want to ask you: do you hear sounds in these realities, or is it just?
Yes, I do.
But it's not like words.
No. Sometimes there are sounds similar to here, but rarely they are. And then there are realities which are similar to Earth, which are almost identical, just like a parallel reality of this
The
one,
Earth, yeah.
which would have all the sounds
As
of
it
what
is.
yes. It just sometimes, because of the texture or liquid or something that you see is very different, it makes actually in that place very peculiar sound. Or
Because
you
it
would
probably
expect-
absorbs
yes,
it,
it's
or
different.
yeah.
Yes, and you would expect it referring in, like, the water, what it does, but the liquid shape that you would associate here as water
Is
would
something
be
else.
different. Yes.
Yeah, so sound needs a medium to travel, and maybe the mediums are different, so
Yes.
it's not the same as here. Okay, and the other last thing on this point is, I forgot the point, but never mind. So we understood your inspirations are coming from things that are not really from this reality, but you do sometimes.
they do, of course.
Yeah, it does come from
Earthly things as well.
Yeah.
Yes, I cannot escape it. I paint a lot of my private life as well, which is something you paint what you know, and what you see.
Right.
So a lot of the daily things that I see and experience also
Comes
to
out.
be. Yes.
But sometimes I see in your paintings, like I can almost like see your daily things and your earthly things, whatever, connected sometimes to other things which are probably not from this world or not from this reality. You seem to like build bridges between this and that, just like you yourself seem to be like a bridge that can connect the two worlds, two or multiple.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's have a look at some of your paintings now, because I want to ask you a few questions about what you felt while painting a few things, and you will be, of course, displaying them at exhibitions, but we will not always get a chance to be in this kind of a raw studio space and explore her painting. So let's go ahead for that.